Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Is It Wrong to Build Characters? Sadhguru answers. I don't think so, but I guess there's a couple of ways you can look at this as in maybe multiple characters, or the way I look at it is to build yourself up. To, to build character. Wrong. I don't think so. I would say no. As long as that character is good. I mean, this is typically in the Western world, I believe, usually a good thing to build character, because generally to build character, you have to kind of go through obstacles, through hard times. Difficulty is what builds character. So, and it usually in a good way. Usually. Can build bad characters too, of course. But generally, whenever you say you want to build character, you generally mean in a good way. But let's see what Sadhguru has to say.
What kind of character that I need to build?
Oh, I have a little confession to make, can I? So, when you say character, you're talking about what are the qualities that should guide me? If you are a joyful, sensible human being, you will do what's best. Just take care of this one thing.
Namaskar, sir. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. It is a wonderful experience last 2 days. My question is something to do with the character.
Whose character?
My own character.
Oh.
My own character.
Oh, so you are a character, is it?
My character.
Being a character is little better than being a creature.
For sure. So, I come from a humble family. My dad was a truck driver and born and brought up in slums.
Hey, truck drivers are not humble, huh? What is he saying? Hey.
What kind of character that I need to build in terms of my own improvement holistically so that I can serve people, which also serves me, makes me happy as well.
Please.
Thank
Oh.
you.
It's really weird to ask someone to tell them who you should be. Obviously, there are close people who knows you very well, but still even them don't truly necessarily know who and what you like. You do. You have to know what you're passionate about. You have to know what you like. You have to know what you like to do or want to do. You know where you're lacking. Don't get me wrong, there's generally a good idea to hear outside perspective on how people see you. You don't have to always take it to heart. You don't always have to change if it's not within you to change. Meaning that if you come off kind of cocky, but you're genuinely not, but you just kind of come off that way and people say that, it's like, well, you know, it's a big part of who I am, and my intent is not to be cocky, but I can't really change that. I mean, people can change a lot of things, but I guess there's a saying, not a saying. For me, I guess it's you're just gonna have to deal with people who will have to get through that. Like there are people who come off kind of mean, but when you get to know them, you it's not that you get used to it. You understand that's the way he is, and it's not genuinely being mean about it. It's just that he says that in a joking manner, or that's the way he speaks. It's not usually in a bad sense. Kind of like I guess an example is, I think men typically do this, is we insult each other. We don't do this in a mean-hearted way. We do this because the other person's better than us. It's like, oh, you suck, man, you know. But it's always in good fun. we always, no, I won't say we always, but we generally put each other down because the other person's usually better. And we put ourselves down. And it's always just enough fun, laughing matter, you know. Where was I going with that one? But I mean, you just kind of have to get to know a person in the way they are. And also, with that, you have to kind of know what you can and cannot give up about yourself to make changes, to become a better person. You can hear external things that you say, makes sense, I should change that, or that's part of me, can't really change it, but, you know, it's not really a bad thing. It sounds bad, but it really isn't. It's kind of difficult, obviously, because there's so many different ways to interpret it, so many ways that people can change and people can't change. Everyone's a little bit different.
I have a little confession to make, can I? When I was in high school, maybe when I was 12, 13, for those 1.5, 2 years, I seriously thought about becoming a truck driver. Not because it was humbling, because it was the most powerful thing to do. Because I was crazy about engines, that's the biggest engine going around.
Planes.
Okay. Wow. See, on the surface, if we look at ourselves, this one likes one thing, that one likes another thing. There are no two people who like exactly the same things. How did you arrive at this? Why is it that this one likes this and that one likes that? Exposure, cultivation, isn't it? Who is cultivating you? Who is molding you like this? Most of the molding is unconscious. Parents desperately tried, but you know, their influence is diminishing with all of you. It's diminishing. There was a time grandmother was the biggest influence. Now who the hell is listening to the grandmother? They'll consult the Google lady. So, a huge diminishing of parental influences happened in the last 20 years' time or 25 years' time. So when this happens, that is, people who cared most for somebody, right or wrong they are, but they cared. Being off their influence and being influenced by somebody else who you do not know, either on the street or online or in the school or wherever else children are going to or people are growing up, there is a huge flux in the society. If we don't handle this flux carefully, responsibly, it can be a disaster, you know. Because people who don't genuinely care for you are trying to mold you. People who cared for you, they definitely care for you, but do they have a perspective about life? Not necessarily. The question is, what comes at you largely is a consequence of the times in which we live. What we make out of it is 100% ours. So what we make out of it is what you're talking as the word character. That's not a very positive word. You're a character is not a positive word, okay? So, when you say character, you're talking about what are the qualities that should guide me. If there was a choice between sitting here and dripping ecstasy every moment of your life, or being, as people say, ups and downs are good, you know, because that's all where they have. Or
I'm guessing whoever said the ups and downs are good is because when you're down, you realize how good is it to be up. Or you can appreciate the good things in life when you're down.
some people even say only when you're really depressed and really oppressed, your intelligence will fire and what tremendous things people have done, do you see? How great things people have done when they were imprisoned and beaten and tortured. There are people who are arguing for that also. Doesn't matter who says what. What is your natural choice? Highest level of pleasantness or unpleasantness? Pleasantness. Yes or no? Uh, there are four aspects of you. You have a body, you have a mind, you have emotions, you have your energies. All these four must be pleasant. Body becomes pleasant, we call it health. Body becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure. Mind becomes pleasant, we call it peace. Becomes very pleasant, we call it joy. Emotions become pleasant, we call it love. Becomes very pleasant, we call it compassion. Energies become pleasant, we call it bliss. Becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. Surroundings become pleasant. What should I call it? Success or Isha Yoga Center? No. I'm telling you this because to create pleasant surroundings, it takes a lot of work, enormous amount of management, constantly doing something about it. So, creating pleasantness around you is subject to various people, various things. Right now we're sitting here, if one of you start freaking, you can create an unpleasant atmosphere, all right? But pleasantness of the body, mind, emotion and energy is 100% your business, isn't it?
I don't know if I should say that. I'm going to anyway. The reason why I was laughing, because he was talking about how, people around you can create unpleasantness. It just made me think of of a commercial or something. I don't think it's a commercial. It's had to be something on YouTube where people are making fun, where there's someone driving a car with his friends in there. All of a sudden the friends were dying, trying to roll down the windows or unlock their cars, but he had, in the driver's seat, had the control where the windows are locked and people in the back seat can't get out because of child safety stuff. And they're all sitting there dying because someone cut the gas. And he created the unpleasant atmosphere in that car. I'm so dumb. But that's my humor.
You don't try to build a character, you understand?
Oh.
Because you will become a character. If you become a very strong character, you will become a caricature. See, I want you to look at this. Somebody, when you are a child, somebody around you is a very strong character. You look at him and think he's a caricature, isn't it? Or a creature. They're a different order of development. Yes or no? Somebody is such a strong character, nobody can bear with that nonsense. So don't become a character. If you are a joyful, sensible human being, you will do what's best. What will you do? Well, we have not come the same way. Our competence and our capabilities are different.
I'll say I don't see it that way. Whenever we say character, the character is you. You could almost say the ego to a degree. Pretty true, I guess you could say that ego and character can be one and the same. Obviously, the ego itself is a false representation of who you truly are, but nonetheless, it is something that you have control over. You can mold into a good ego or good character. So make sure I'm so I don't think it's necessarily, it's you don't have to be a caricature of a character. You are that character. So for example, for those who are not enlightened, character and ego can go hand in hand, in my opinion. And you want your ego and the character to be good. Again, no separation between the two. The two are one and the same. I guess someone who's very giving and caring, you could even say like Sadhguru, he has a good character because he has what do you call it? He has temples in areas that will provide you free lodging. I assume he said, if you need to stay, you can, and free food to a degree. Obviously, I understand that it can't always happen because places require money to just maintain, and plus you have taxes and all this kind of other stuff. But you get the hopefully the idea that there are potentially good people out there who have good characters that are giving and caring, but you don't make them a caricature of that character. So that's where I'll say how my perspective is looked when you say building a good character. Character and ego hand in hand. You can look past the ego, see that you're not the ego, but you can still have a good ego. Interesting way. I never said that before, but because your ego is your mind or your caricature of who you truly are. Yeah, a caricature, not of who you truly are, but I don't know how to describe it in terms of Advaita Vedanta, but you know, obviously you're the observer, and the mind and ego is the character. But you can have a good character. So, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, not Jnana or Raja Yoga, but those two, you have to make sure you have good character, because it's all action. It's all taking place in the physical realm to develop good karma or devotion. So I look at character as essentially your ego, and you want to develop a good ego or character. That's not a bad. Yeah, I so far I will say this: character and ego, one and the same, no difference. And you want to develop a good character, but obviously you want to go beyond that, or understand that you're beyond that, but still your character still should be good. Because that is always going to be in the physical plane, that will exist in the physical world, in Maya, that you interact with other people. So
accordingly we will do. Maybe you cannot do what somebody else does, it doesn't matter. You will do your best, because when you're joyful by your own nature, you are not an impediment in your own life. You're not the problem in your life. You are never the issue. This one thing you make sure. In your life, you're not the issue. There are other issues, thousands. If you have 1,000 issues per day, that means you're doing a lot of things, it's good. But I'm not the issue. The moment you become stressful, the moment you become tense, the moment you become miserable, the moment you become angry, you have become the issue, isn't it? Just take care of this one thing, you don't need a character. You can just be like life. You're life, are you? So don't become a character, just life. Life means, life is the director of all characters. Because there is life, the body evolved like this, huh? You're not born like this, isn't it? Because there is life throbbing here, you're Punjabi. No, I'm just trying to figure out the food. See…
real quick, interesting. You said that I think you said life drives the character, or let's go back.
Of things, it's good, but I'm not the issue. The moment you become stressful, the moment you become tense, the moment you become miserable, the moment you become angry, you have become the issue, isn't it? Just take care of this one thing, you don't need a character. You can just be like life. You're life, are you? So don't become a character, just life. Life means, life is the director of all characters.
There you go. Life is the director of all characters, he says there, which makes me think of, like I was saying earlier, where character and ego are one and the same, and then in terms of Advaita Vedanta, your true selves, our true selves, is the one pure consciousness, and every ego is the play, the lila. I say that as though I know it. I did do a little bit of research on that because of a particular video, but it's a basically… Anyways, those who understand, you understand. But we are all being… all this bodies, this Maya, is being directed by life, or Atma, Brahman. So that's a direct translation to 101. It's life is the director of all characters. or egos, which is Atman being the director of all egos, body.
Because there is life, the body evolved like this. Huh? You're not born like this, isn't it? Because there is life throbbing here, you're Punjabi. No, I'm just trying to figure out the food. See, a dokla according to South Indians is a bad idea of a idli. But you don't look like a dokla. You eat a dokla and it becomes you. So why is this? Because life is throbbing, isn't it? Whatever the hell you put into this, it becomes like this. There are some guidelines of genetics and evolution and stuff, but the rest is being done by the intelligence that you call as life. So keeping that in full force is the most important thing you need to do. Don't build characters. If life is full on, see, if your body is full on, it'll behave one way. Only if your intellect is full on, you will behave another way. Only your emotions are on, you will behave another way. But if this life is full on, it will not do anything life negative, isn't it? You need a better insurance than life? I'm asking. Life is the only insurance, isn't it, you have? So, this is the most important thing, this is a serious mistake large percentage of humanity has made is, we think we have to create something. No, it is already there. Say a mango tree is not trying to manufacture coconuts. Its only aspiration is to become a full-fledged mango tree. In that outside there are many impediments, maybe there is no water, maybe there is a hungry cow, maybe something else, all these things. But its only aspiration is to become a full-fledged mango tree. This is all. Your aspiration is to become a full-fledged life, full on. Will all these lives will find expression the same way? Never. Each one will find in their own way. But as long as they're not constipated life, they're full-on life, it's fine. Because if you craft your character in a certain way, you will also expect how her character should be. Yes or no? Inevitable, isn't it? See, I craft myself and say, this is my character. Now what is her character? It must fit into what? My template of character, otherwise she won't pass. Don't do that to yourself or to anybody.
Gotta watch that last part again.
Life, they are full on life. It's fine. Because if you craft your character in a certain way, you will also expect how her character should be. Yes or no?
I don't see. This is the thing that I don't I don't try to impose my beliefs on others. I will say what my beliefs are, and I'll talk about and argue my point. But it's up to you whether you want to follow them or not, or to believe them or not. Never ever take anyone's point unless you intend to follow it. And hopefully, the reason why you follow it is because you understand it and you believe it yourself. So, in a sense, you just heard an idea, you worked it out, and you're like, I like that idea. Kind of like how we get all information in life. Or all to most. Or maybe even all. Not sure. I'm sure most, if not all. Like stubbing your toe while trying to go to the bathroom at night. Lesson learned. Get a flashlight or something. Bad idea. Good idea. Use light when trying to navigate the dark. So again, lessons learned. You like the idea, dislike the other idea, so you got the idea of flashlight, or at least turning on the light when you're walking down the hallway or something like that. So again, and then you could have, someone else could have said that. It's like, I remember last night, man, I was trying to go use the bathroom. I stubbed my toe. It hurt like crap. Next time I'm turning on the light, and you heard that. It's like, you know what? At night I get up to use the bathroom. I haven't stubbed my toe yet. I've been lucky. Hopefully I don't have to learn my lesson. I will start turning on the light. I like that idea. I will turn on the light or use a flashlight. So you pick up things or you learn things the hard way, as I like to say. So anyway, this is my reaction to Is It Wrong to Build Character? If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.